Welcome or welcome back to my channel. What are you doing staring at the door? I'm over here. Jeez, why do you always enter? You're so weird. Oh my god. I'm over here. Come on. Let's get to it. So, welcome back to our character. I realized I never named this character. Her name is going to be Victoria. We are going to add some features into her abdomen. If you're wondering how it got to the stage where it's looking like this, well, that means you didn't watch the rest of the video and you should probably go back. So let's move on. I'm going to be adding some highlighting to her abdomen. So let me grab my drawing tablet, let's do the sampling of her neck. So we're going to take a brush size anywhere between like 50 to 70. We're going to make a little triangle, follow this kind of shape here. And then we have that kind of structure. I know you're not going to see it so much here. It really depends on what kind of outfit your character is wearing, but we're going to blur that out slightly, pulling it down so that way the texture is pulled downwards. Okay, and so that gives us a little bit of a base. And we're going to go into the abdomen. We're going to use that same color and we're going to draw out. I just want to see where they hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it. Cool. If you really wanted them to have like a whole six-pack. I usually don't do that with my female characters. I usually just go like this and then kind of curve it out like that and leave it at that and like blur that out. Or you can just follow the line here and leave it like that. That's also cool. For simplicity's sake, I'm just gonna do it like this, follow down, and have it there. And then that's gonna give me the structure for my abdomen. And then I'm gonna blur out either side. If you like it like that, keep it like that. So it looks like she has a very strong abdomen. I'm just gonna leave it at that, and let's go on to adding some eyes and other details. Oh, you know what I forgot? I'm sorry, I'm eating. I forgot to add some lip gloss to her lips. We're gonna add in that little shine. Okay, so we're gonna go back into the face because I totally forgot about adding some lip gloss. That was one of the other things that I really enjoyed having on these characters, is the little vavavoom of lip gloss. So 2 shades lighter. Very small brush. Yeah, that's fine. It's a good color. And then depends on like how you want the lips to like. Cool. She has some lip gloss. You don't have to be very creative. I just did a little swiggle on her lip line and then add a little tiny dots there. And then she has some lip gloss, and that's our character's lips. That's what the skin map looks like. It looks not that bad from this angle. Moving on to my least favorite is the eyes. Okay, so Vroid has plenty of options for eyes, so if you don't really feel like being very creative, you could always just go through, pick one that suits you. I kind of like these ones, or these. These are cute. I'm going to attempt to show you how I make eyes in Vroid. So usually I use a different software to make my eyes. So example of some eyes that I made before in the past look like this. Let's go into a little closer, a little zoom up. And what I usually do, a lot of times, I'll make like very basic looking ones and then I'll just layer them. So like this has like 2 layers of different eye textures. Or you can also just take the eye that you like, change the color, nice and simple. Alright, so we're going to start off making our own separate eyes. First, starting off with the darkest shade, that is the pupil color. We're going to color in the base of the eye. So I'm keeping the background of the original eye texture just to give me an idea of where I should be outlining my irises. You know what? I think I'm going to make the shade a little bit darker for this one. So we're going to make it a little smidge darker. Yeah, that works better. And then we're just going to follow that black outline and create our irises using this color. Keep in mind I'm using mirroring so I don't have to do too much work, and then I will turn off mirroring once I get to the pupils. So next up we're going to take our mid-range color, so our kind of like center color. I'm going to create the belly of the iris right there, and just going to create kind of like a, I don't even know what that shape is called, that shape. And then we're going to take our pupil color, and I turned off mirroring so that way I can create an almond shaped iris. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye. Now you can use mirroring for this part. I just felt like it looks funny if you do, so I usually turn it off. So next up I'm going to take the blur tool, and then I'm going to use the fuzzy looking brush, oops, a little too much, and blur out the fader brush, that's what I usually call it, and blur out the harsh lines around the eyes, around the irises, so it kind of just blends into each other. So there's no start or end to the eye. Next, we're going to take a highlighting color to create our like glare pigments in the eye, since I'm trying to create more of like an anime styled eye. So first I'm going to try drawing it, but this doesn't really look right. So I'm going to use, yeah, it's still not looking right. So I'm just going to use the shape that the brush gives us, so like that little solid circle, and I think that actually works best. Since I'm using a drawing tablet, I can take off how much pressure I want, so that gives me the flexibility of how much coloring I want. But for those who don't have a drawing tablet, just play around with the size of the brush, the width of the brush, and then that will give you that same effect when you click down on the spot. So I'm just going to repeat that, trying to make it a little smaller. I'm trying to figure out where I want to put it. I think I'll put it here. Yeah, I'll keep it there. But I want it to be like a little tiny dot. There we go. Perfect. And now that's basically almost perfect for me, but I'm going to add in a little bit of pizzazz by adding a little bit of a squiggle near the bottom. Let me just fade this part out so that way we have fully blended it. So I'm going to keep the mirroring tool off. I'm going to add in a new layer so I can add that highlight that I was talking about. So that way if I don't like it, I can always erase it without any penalties. So let me make sure I'm in the draw tool function and take off that fader brush to the solid brush, and I'm just going to draw a little dot with a bit of a squiggle, and I guess I'll add a little dot at the top here. Yeah, it's fine. I'll do the same thing on the other eye, but try to make it a little bit different. So I'm going to change the height where I start the squiggle and the dots, and there we go. And there's my anime looking eyes. Cute. Okay, so option number 2 for eyes, we are gonna do like a very simplistic. We're gonna start off with a dark color. We're gonna do mirroring. It's defining the color that you like is the hard part. Okay, like I said, make a brush size that's similar to the eye structure. It saves you a lot of time. Okay, so once that's filled, next I'm going to open up a new layer, and I'm going to take a shade that's like basically a black color. I might turn off mirroring for this stage, and that way I can just work one eye at a time. So I'm basically creating that walnut or almond, sorry, almond shape at the bottom, but then have the other part at the top. We're going to blur that out in a moment, so we're going to do the same thing on the other eye. This is just to kind of, like I said, make sure that the eyes aren't exactly identical, but they are very similar. I'm going to blur that out only at this, like above the walnut area. Not walnut, not, oh my gosh, I can't say words. The almond shape. We're gonna blur just above the almond shape. There we go, perfect, great. Now we're gonna go in with a lighter color and we're gonna draw in, let's go over here, still with that fading brush. It's a little harder to see because there's that highlight that we're gonna move. So don't worry about the highlight right now. I want them to be that same little highlighty area. Gonna be the same side on both eyes. And then we're gonna go in a shade like kind of like slightly 2 shades lighter, smaller brush size, and we're gonna make a ring. I don't think that's light enough. Okay. With some little spikes. Okay. Same thing. Other eye. It's a new eye, it's a new day, it's a new dawn. Alright, and then that's basically how you do that eye. I think that's very two simplified ways. I've done eyes a few times on this channel. You can find videos of how I do them. For time, how we're doing for time. I think that is where we're going to leave it for today's chapter. So we have the skin done. She's looking ripped. She has some glow to her. She has some beautiful eyes. And we are going to move on. The highlight could also be used to like add more cool features. So right now it's set to like a white color. So like say I wanted more of like a bluish. Let's go with purple because you know that's my color. So we add it like that, it would look like that. We add it down here, it would look like that. I kind of like the blue ones, the green ones that I made. I usually go with something like this because it just adds very subtle features, which just nice enough and just enough color into the eyes to go and complement with the coloring. So for example, if I was going to do like a turquoisey kind of color, so then her eyes pop and look a little bit more glittery, and I kind of think it works. Cool, great. And then if I were to go into our irises, here we have the green ones, and same color looks fabulous on this one. Awesome. And if you don't want to have the highlight, okay, and then you can always take it out, and that's what it would look like. It looks kind of flat without the highlight, so I do like to have that little highlight. I usually go with this one because I like how this highlight looks. It kind of makes it look like she has little hearts in her eyes. And yeah, so moving on. In the next video, we will cover some hair. I had a suggestion of what to do with hair. The problem is I don't know how to do that hairstyle, so it's not that I don't know how to do it, I just don't know how to achieve the look I want. So right now I'm just going to end her off with having this as her hair. Some fun anime hair. So she has some fun anime hair. Awesome. And that is our character for now. And in the next video, we will come back and figure out how to tackle this head of hair. And yeah, so I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.